Everything that's good about my playing, I stole from somebody. That's the first thing. I've stolen a lot of things.
A lot of people can't tell the difference between Philly Joe, Elvin Jones. In your mind, just first thing straight off your head, 4 bars of Tony Williams. I don't know, this is Tony Williams, and I think this is what I took from him.
For sure. So Tony, for me, the cymbal and the hi-hat they felt like they were in dialogue a lot. That was. No, please.
So dialogue between the two. That's what you took from that.
That's what I took from it. Dialogue between the hi-hat, the open hi-hat, the splashy hi-hat, and the ride cymbal. Right? So here's Elvin. What I took from Elvin was the inside of the triplet, right? So kind of before this, Elvin is so important to me because when I was listening to drummers play jazz, there's kind of before Elvin and after Elvin. So there's like the quarter note approach, right? Art Blakey played like this, sort of, right? Elvin opened up the triplet inside. Beat stays the same. The beat stays the same. But that opening of the triplet is really what Elvin brought to the music.
Great.
Yeah.
Jimmy Cobb.
Jimmy Cobb. Pocket. Now, see, okay, I got to stop and say this. People talk about pocket. They say, man, you play pocket. You play great pocket. Thank you. But my definition of pocket is this. The pocket is the place where all the musicians exist when they agree on the time. Pocket involves other people. You can play pocket, you can play groove by yourself, you can play pocket, lock in a pocket, you can imagine what the other cats are playing. But the space where everybody meets and agrees on the time and y'all stay in that space, that's the pocket. So when I listen to Jimmy Cobb and Paul Chambers and Wynton Kelly play on Kind of Blue, I listen to them play So What? I listen to them play Freddie Freeloader, which you played earlier. That is the funkiest, to me, that's some of the funkiest straight ahead jazz because the pocket is so, so deep. The way Jimmy Cobb and Paul Chambers played together, NASA should study that shit. It's like, you know what I mean? Because it's just so, you can set your watch by it. So this is Jimmy Cobb. See that right there. That right there. And I took the fact that I could dance to his ride cymbal is the thing I took from Jimmy Cobb. I could dance to it. Like it really just made me want to just get up, you know, made me want to move.
What'd you take from the drum machine? Give me a specific drum machine and give me 2 different drum machines. What did you take from?
Okay, so my first drum machine I ever owned was an MPC 2000 before the XL. This is way, way back in the day. This is like late 90s. And I got it. And the first thing I learned about the drum machine was the ability to shift notes. So I would program something in, like just an eighth note pattern quantized to the eighth note. What you could do was shift the hi-hat behind the beat. You could also shift the snare ahead of the beat. And requantize it, you know, same with quarter notes. Okay, so then now we're entering Dilla territory. That's what he did with the drum machine, and how it's changed the way a lot of us play music. You know, I mean, I messed around with like the SP12 too. You know, but it was kind of more the same thing. The SP12 didn't have the note shift, but what you could do with the SP12 was you could play a sample that was tuned low, so that if you took a break beat like this, let's say that was a snare sample, but you sped up the beat. This is really hard to do. But you kept the sample the same. The sample was playing slower than the rest of the groove. So it kind of put this limp on the snare sound. It kind of made the snare sound like it was dragging, but it was actually just playing the same sample at a different tempo, right? That was my first, actually the first time I messed around with a drum machine was the SP12. The MPC 2000 came later for me. But those are the lessons I learned about this idea of a grid and playing against it, shifting it.